Welcome to Lines on Design. I am at my favorite place in the world, Coastal Home, with my favorite person, Steve Steele. Thank you so much. You're sort
welcome.
of a co-host right now.
Yeah, today I am.
Today you are.
I've sat before, usually 3 other girls around me, and I'm the only testosterone here.
Exactly,
Yes.
which is great. And I'll tell you, it's sort of a change of season, and we were laughing about what to talk about, because oftentimes change of seasons are unpredictable when it comes to what people purchase. We were talking about fire pits, and you said, ironically, fire pits are usually purchased not as winter is coming, different times of the year.
It's interesting because you think this time of year, prep starts to cool down, some of the bugs are starting to go away, but normally what ends up happening is come February, that's when they're purchasing because they're redesigning
exactly.
their their porches. So that's when they're adding that, so.
Well, it's been interesting. My mom and dad are staying with us, and I find that as I'm sort of transitioning out of my outdoor living, they're transitioning into it because it's not so hot for them.
Correct.
So we thought it'd be fun today to kind of sit here in the outdoor section and revisit, if you will, all the fantastic things that you have. One of the things, and one of the reasons we're sitting here, well, 2 reasons for me. First of all, the gray with the pop of teal is very on point right now. Are you seeing that?
Oh, a lot of that, yes, because you still got your muted colors, but then you want to pop it with a pillow or a carpet or whatever you're going to do.
Exactly.
Or color into your coffee table type thing.
And I'd love to ask you a little bit about this covering in particular.
So what's interesting is this is actually 100% outdoor sofa.
How about that?
So it is a slipcover sofa made with sunbrella fabric. The cushions are the same as what they almost would be on the indoor side, except they bag them.
Oh, they bag them. Okay.
Yes. And what's nice is because it's a slipcover, normally if you do spill something on it, you can use a bleach solvent. But if you want to just give it a refresher, you can put it in the wash and just hang it or dry clean it.
I do it all the time.
Underneath, though, what the main thing is, you could sit on your porch, and if it gets some moisture, you're not going to get that problem because underneath is a powder coat aluminum frame. So it holds it all together, so you're not going to have any of the problems of the weathering and stuff like that. So what it is what this is great for is that person that has an outdoor screened-in porch area, but still want to have that feel of the indoor.
Exactly.
They bring it out because now it looks, and it sits marvelous.
Oh, it's super comfortable. It really is.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you some practical things. As you were sitting there talking about you could take it off and wash it and whatever, talk to me about maintenance of outdoor furnishings, because I think that's something for those of us who are prepping, if you will.
Debbie, will you toss me that bag over there?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So what's this time of year is we're looking at, you're doing a lot of
these are cool.
covers, because you want to make sure you go to your, start getting, okay, I'm not going to be here. You got some of your people that are leaving, you got to visit for the holiday, going away, or, who knows what the weather's going to be like for the next, month or so. So what we have is, what's nice is you got these
deep seating outdoor covers.
And what's nice, and they feel these things there.
They're not the kind.
Yeah, these aren't the kind that are going to crack on you.
No.
So they're going to be great on your stuff. So you can just sit it out there and leave it out there. Forget about it. They even have Velcro if it's too big, so it'll pull tight. It's not going to sweat. Your stuff's not going to sweat underneath, which is good.
So how are they made? Are they made for sofas, chairs, things like that?
So you got everything for outdoor, from your chase lounges to your fire pits. It has covers size for them. There's different, even if sectional, you have a sectional that's awkward. They actually have pieces, they put it all together so it can go on there. So it can use for anything. So that's one thing what we say is your first line of protection.
Okay.
If you have certain things, if you have, and then when you come back from it, say you have the powder coat aluminum frames, and it looks a little dull after your season. The simplest thing is go pick up some turtle wax.
Is it?
Turtle wax, and just kind of rub it on there, and just kind of cleans it up, and it shines it right back up. Not going to do anything to it. A lot of the other maintenance, it's just a kind of basic thing. What I tell you is, make sure you put it away. So your umbrellas, and when you put it away, clear it out. You got to put it in, and zip it tight, because what I notice is I'll have next year. Somebody will come to me and go, "Oh yeah, I finally got my umbrella back out, but there's a couple bats living up there.
I was just going to
you
say,
know.
but some creature
Yeah,
is living
there's
up
some
there.
little things,
and
you know.
yeah.
So that's where you know, you really got to. That's where you got your situation, you get your problem. And that's also good with the covers. They do make covers with nodes that goes even on the umbrellas.
Oh, do they really?
So they'll zip to. So
How
then
do you store an umbrella? You just put it down and then store it vertically?
it really depends on. You want to keep it so it's not like. A lot of times I'll go and I'll look at somebody's
Right.
garage and it's like laying right there on the floor. The higher up, usually the better, because then you put it vertically like this. And,
True.
You know, horizontal. I mean, you keep it from there. And if you use one of those, you can just zip it up with it, and it gives you an extra protection, so you don't get the mold build up on it.
Okay.
And really, the thing to remember, every mold's going to grow on everything.
Right.
It's not.
Can't help it.
It's not really. Mold's not going to grow on anything like a fabric like this. What it is a dirt that gets on it. That the
dirt
mold
grows the mold.
the mold. So if you had this here and it looked great, but there left be a little bit of cookie or something that was
Right.
on there, so you come back
Cookie,
and
don't you love?
right,
You're right.
yeah, and it comes back and there's mold, and you're like, how does this mold? Because it's umbrella, it shouldn't get mold or anything like that. Well, it grows on top of it, and that's what causes. So that's why we say, if you can't clean it off with a normal Dawn or anything like
Right.
that, take a bleach.
Right.
You know, but make sure it is a sunbrella product, because I've had customers that have,
Oh, yeah,
this is
exactly.
sunbrella. That's
Yeah.
like, it's not
Not
sunbrella.
so much.
And the thing I would tell you is a lot of your chase lounges, they may look like, you know, they're sunbrella or they're like that. They're not.
That's
we've had,
interesting.
because we've had, you know, they have a mesh and they're going to clean good with the soap and water, and they can get the mold and things like that out. But it's like, if you take some type of, you know, I think it's going to be bleach, it could take
Take the color right
out.
off of it.
And the biggest mistake I've seen in the last 2 years is the annual person doing the power washing
Yes.
and do this, and all of a sudden they come in and half their furniture is one color and half their furniture is another color.
I just thought about that. I bet that's true, isn't
Yeah,
it?
they come in, and so you gotta when you're doing your power washing, you gotta make sure the certain products you're using can actually handle it, because if not, it's gonna pull right off all that color. Or if you're doing any pesticides and things like that,
never thought about that either.
that's another problem. So if you have your maintenance guy out there spraying, make sure it's covered up, or have it away, because I've also seen where they're like, dang, and then everything looks fine except for this whole corner and that whole corner, and that's because he was clearing out this area, and it's all,
I keep looking around at all your rugs too.
So this is kind of new.
This
These
is really
mats,
cool.
These mats.
Yes, like
so what it
oilcloths
is, yeah.
almost.
So what it is we have, there's, I would say almost 500 different designs of these. You can make them in 5x8 to 8x10.
Who makes these?
This is Spicer and Company, I think it is.
Oh,
They're out of Pennsylvania.
Well, it's so funny as we're sitting here talking about maintenance, and I'm looking down at all these
Yeah.
really cool
But it's a good
rugs.
alternative instead of, and what's nice about it, it's a good alternative compared to a rug that you're going to throw away in a year or
Exactly.
two, where this is all just a wash off, and it's good for kind of from a mudroom to a back porch, but it also again brings your color to your outfit.
Well, it's funny, we're talking about these neutral colors and pops of color and layering things out, and typically we talk about solid rugs, but as I'm looking around now, you have to come to Coastal Home and just look around. It's the best place to get ideas in the whole world. It just is. I can't help it, it just is. But looking at some of the rugs you have, they really add a lot of that visual interest. It's really cool.
And it also eliminates the trip hazards you have sometimes with the rugs that you're going to have, because it just lays there flat, and
I'm sure it can, it feels like an oilcloth, so it can definitely withstand the crud.
yeah,
the
it's
water and
meant for outside, and so we have it. I have it on a lot of customers will put it on their back porches instead of, they don't want to do the rug, they can just put that. The only thing you got to watch is, because it is an area, you got to make sure it's an area where not a lot of pointing things aren't going to be sticking into it, because that's where you could get your problems.
little boop.
Yeah. I was talking
Yeah.
to some customer, they wanted to put it in a certain walkway. I go, that's great. I said,
High
and
heels.
high heels, and it goes in that walkway, and that heel's going to go right through it, and then you're going to be coming back to me in about a week or two going, what's up?
What you've also told me, which I think is interesting, and you've got some here, there's a lot of lighting right now that is outdoor lighting. Well, it's outdoor sitting lighting, which is pretty cool.
Right. So you have your certain outdoor lighting that you can use for areas. Then you
Yes.
have, but the biggest problem, a lot of patios,
Right.
is you don't have the outlets
Right.
to get to it. So we have some lights
Lamps, yeah.
that sit out there, and you can actually get them in floor lamps. You can get them, you know.
Really cool.
And so what they do is it's just a charges on a spot there, and then you take it over and plug it in.
For me as a designer, that was about the coolest new thing that came out. But now I'm kind of grooving on these oilcloths too.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny when we come in, oftentimes we sort of organically decide what we're going to talk about because no matter what we decide on, I mean, we could sit here and talk for 4 hours nonstop. I tell you, it's always a
'cause we
treat to
talk too
see you.
much.
No, well,
At least
it's
I do.
interesting. It really, I beg your pardon? It really is. I want to thank you for joining us. Stay with us. There's more to come here on Lines on Design.